Hello racing fans, this is Mike Schutte, co-founder of Horse Racing Nation and author of our annual Kentucky Derby Super Screener. We're taking a look at some of the top contenders going into the Derby through a series of 2-minute videos. Yesterday we profiled Uncle Mo, today we take a look at Dialed In. You know, by virtue of his consistency in that gutsy Florida Derby performance, he's likely now to be our Kentucky Derby favorite. Now, does he measure up to that lofty status? Let's take a look at some of the evidence. First, many are criticizing that Florida Derby victory, saying, you know what, just too slow. But we've got to put that in perspective. If you recall, on that day, the Gulfstream Park track was just very kind to those with early foot. In fact, if you weren't 1 or 2 coming out of the gate, you really didn't have much chance to win a race on that day. Now, despite that pronounced bias that led to an extreme new lifetime top for the near wire-to-wire winner Shackelford, Dialed In, dug in. He came back from a 10-length deficit to overcome that bias, nipped Shackelford at the wire, and I'd say, hey, slow? No, that was gutsy. If you didn't like that race, look at the race before. 1.8 race allowance against older horses in a race where no pace was expected to happen, and that's exactly what happened. They walked in that race early on, but Dialed In brought his A game, overcame that as well to finish a second place and a near victory in that one. So another show of character, 1.8 distance against older. That's a big one on the resume. But go back even further, the Holy Bull Stakes still holds up as one of the best preps of the year. Horses coming out of that one did very well in their subsequent races, and Dialed In was certainly no exception to that one. He took the Holy Bull with that visually impressive late run, beating a good field of 3-year-olds. You know, it's really getting hard to find any knocks against this guy. If that isn't enough, he's run a good race in the Churchill Downs surface, certainly bred to get the Derby distance. He's 3 for 4 lifetime starts, and he meets most of our Super Screener criteria. The only knock I have on this one is I'm just wondering how much that against the bias victory in the Florida Derby took out of him. We'll have to see. Not sure if he also has enough foundation with only 4 lifetime starts. But we'll have all the answers in just one short week. Check back tomorrow now as we're going to examine the wise guy horse this year, and that's Nero, or do you say Nero? Don't forget now too, download your copy of this year's Kentucky Derby Super Screener and get an edge over the rest in finding that Derby winner and your bombers to complete your exotic tickets. For Horse Racing Nation, this is Mike Schutte. I'll see you tomorrow. Go fast and win.